story could have come right out the 40s. Boy meets girl and we fall in love just like the movies. Those summer days making every moment last. You were the air I wanted to breathe, and I just can't get enough. You took a chance, you held my hand, you pulled me close and we froze in time. And then I knew when your eyes met mine that I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you right now, with nothing else stand between us. It's just you and me tonight. I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you right now, and let the world know how I feel with your lips so close to mine. I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you for the very first time.
Have you ever tried to stand in rushing water and fight the waves that keep from falling? Well, that's how you moved me.
Took a chance, you held my hand, you pulled me close and we froze in time. And then I knew when your eyes met mine that I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you right now, that nothing else stand between us. It's just you and me tonight. I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you right now, and let the world know how I feel with your lips so close to mine. I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you for the very first time. I wanna kiss you.
I wanna kiss you.
Don't you wanna kiss me too? And let the world know how we feel. Oh, I wanna kiss you. Don't you wanna kiss me too? And nothing else stand between us. It's just you and me tonight. I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you. I wanna kiss you for the very first time.
Who gives this woman to marry this man?
Her mother and I.
You in a rush, Ricky.
I know, I mean, that thing.
If y'all want to turn those fans this way and blow them up here, I'm good with that. Well, Ashley and Wes, this is the special day. It has finally arrived. It's taken almost exactly 5 years for this to happen. First time we met with a group of friends, and I think, Wes, you remember that moment when you saw Ashley and thought, she's cute, and then found out that she was nice too. And Ashley, I think that feeling was mutual when you saw Wes and thought, man, he's handsome and he's nice. These past years are your history, these past 5 years, but they're just part of a bigger history that started many, many years ago. You go all the way back to Genesis 2, verse 20, where it says, But for Adam there was no suitable helper found. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of man's ribs, and closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman out of the rib he had taken out of man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, This is bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. So your story really started many, many years ago, even though your personal story just started 5 years ago. But I'd like to focus in a little bit on these last 5 years. So, the first date at Legends, okay? That's the perfect place for a first date for anybody. Ashley told me that the dinner went great. She knew she was on the right track when you offered to pay for the dinner. That was good. A little side note that I didn't know about until after we had had this conversation is that Mary Jane and Ricky happened to be at Legends that night too. And Ashley and Wes didn't know they were going to be there, and they didn't know Ashley and Wes were going to be there. So when Wes and Ashley were taken to their seat, they walked right by Mary Jane and Ricky's table. And Mary Jane kind of obviously noticed, and Ashley did the right thing. She totally ignored her parents, walked straight to the table, and Wes had no idea, so it didn't matter. So, but that's kind of a neat side story. From that date, you guys went to several fun dates. One of them being riding razors, which is a favorite pastime of Wes. And actually, I think I remember you telling me that he rolled a razor with you in it. And Wes, when she didn't run off, you knew you had a winner, because they'd run a bunch of women off. Well, after Ashley slowed Wes down, and I found out this took about a year, they both started thinking, there's something special about this relationship right here. And Ashley told me that after about 2 years, she was ready for that ring, okay? Well, Wes finally got up the courage and bought that ring, but it took him 2 months to figure out how to give it to her. And he wanted to give it to her in a way that made her just feel like she was the most special woman in the world. That's where Maggie, Wes and Ashley's dog, come in the picture. Wes had one of Ashley's friends make a bandana for Maggie, and it had an important message on it. That message read, "Will you marry my daddy?" Well, it happened a cold night, December 16th, 2017. Wes and Ashley went out to dinner, and after they got through eating, Wes said, I think I need to go out to the truck and warm the truck up. Wink, wink, what a joke, okay? So Wes leaves and leaves a credit card with Ashley. At least he did that, guys. And she paid for the meal, and as he was getting things set up outside, and Ashley comes walking out. And when she sees Maggie standing there, and probably a few other people she wasn't expecting, she knew something was up. So she bent down and she read the note on the bandana. She saw Wes pulling that ring out. And just like any other unsuspecting fiance, she snatched the ring out of his hand and put it on her finger. I think by that reaction, we would all say she was ready, and the answer was yes. I'd like to read a quote from Lewis Smead. And this quote talks about commitment and keeping commitment, which is a very important thing when you're talking about marriage. It goes like this. Yes, somewhere people still make and keep promises. They choose not to quit when the going gets rough because they promised once to see it through. They stick to lost causes. They hold on to love grown old. They stay with people that become pains in the neck. They still dare to make promises and care enough to keep promises they make. I want to say that if you have a ship, that you will not desert. If you have people you will not forsake. If you have causes you will not abandon, then you are like God. What a marvelous thing a promise is. When a person makes a promise, she reaches out into an unpredictable future and makes one thing predictable, that she will be there even when the cost is more than she wants to pay. When a person makes a promise, he stretches himself into circumstances that no one can control, and controls at least one thing, that he will be there no matter what the circumstances turn out to be. With one simple word of promise, a person creates an island of certainty in a sea of uncertainty. When a person makes a promise, she stakes a claim on her personal freedom and power. When you make a promise, you take a hand in creating your own future. I'd like for you to kind of face each other just a little bit here. So Wes, I have to ask you a question that you need to answer for me. Do you, Wes, take Ashley, whom you now hold by the hand, to be your wife? Do you promise to love her, support her, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto her, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
So Ashley, you need to answer this one too. Do you, Ashley, take Wes, whom you now hold by the hand, to be your husband? Do you promise to love him, support him, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Wes, I need you to repeat these vows after me. I'll get them in a minute. I, Wes, take you, Ashley, to be my wife.
I, Wes, take you, Ashley, to be my wife.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part.
And Ashley, you just keep looking in his eyes and you repeat after me. I, Ashley, take you, Wes, to be my husband.
I, Ashley, take you, Wes, to be my husband.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer or for poor.
In sickness and in health.
And in sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death do us part.
To death do us part.
Do you have rings to remind you of your commitment to one another? Just put it right there. Stick it right there. Those are beautiful. There's so much symbolism in a wedding ring. I'd like to point out just a couple of things. First is that God created the precious metal that these rings are made of. And God also created both of you. And a special relationship that you guys have together. And second, it took effort for a jeweler to make these beautiful rings, just as it's going to take an equal amount of effort from both of you to keep this marriage looking beautiful like these rings. I think the two of you are up to the challenge and blessing to make that happen. Wes, I'd like you to take this ring, put it on Ashley's finger, and repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed, in token and pledge, of our constant faith, abiding love, and of the vow made between us. Ashley, will you take the ring and put it on Wes's finger and repeat after me? With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed,
I do wed,
in token and pledge,
in token and in pledge
of our constant faith, abiding love, and the vow made between us.
and the vow made between us.
In Mark 10, we read that what God therefore has joined together, let not man separate. It is my privilege to pronounce you husband and wife. Wes, you may kiss your bride. All right. It is a great honor for me to introduce for the first time Mr. and Mrs. James Wesley Lyons.
Sometimes I wanna run and get away. Sometimes I wanna take the easy way. And when I start to break, you know that you're the only one who can shine the light inside the cave. Speak the words that'll resonate. And all I've got to say, your love is never overdone. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. When I'm down on my knees, yeah, you're all I need. Sometimes life's a mess, but I'm never letting you go. Some things I regret, but never letting you go. No time to second guess, yeah. Never letting you go. At your side and at my best, yeah. Never letting you go. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, you're the queen in my game of chess. Underwater, you're my life vest. You're there in my defense, so I never wanna break your trust. You know I'm gonna be there for you too. For love, all the crazy things we do, yeah. This I promise you. Sometimes life's a mess, but I'm never letting you go. Some things I regret, but never letting you go. No time to second guess, yeah. Never letting you go. At your side and at my best, yeah. Never letting